Imagine facing a 6-ton mammoth, armed with nothing but a sharp stone. How did ordinary humans survive a world where they were never the strongest predators? For hundreds of thousands of years, every sunrise was a fight to stay alive. One mistake meant becoming food instead of finding it. Before we uncover how early humans survived this dangerous world, subscribe to Epoch Studios for more incredible stories from history, science, and the universe. This was a world long before cities and civilization, where early humans lived in small groups, constantly searching for food, water, and safety.
In this unforgiving world, early humans had no permanent homes. They moved with the seasons, following water, plants, and the animals they depended on.
Finding food was never guaranteed. A successful day could mean roots, fruits, or small animals, but larger prey offered enough meat to feed an entire group.
But hunting large animals was incredibly dangerous. They were faster, stronger, and capable of killing a human in seconds. Survival demanded something more than strength.
But early humans were not alone. Powerful predators shared their world, hiding in forests and grasslands, constantly searching for food, while humans struggled to survive.
Across the open plains, enormous herds of herbivores moved constantly, offering early humans a valuable source of meat, but reaching them required patience, planning, and courage.
Before making a move, hunters studied their prey carefully, examining tracks, movement, wind direction, and the safest path toward the animal without being detected.
The hunters could not attack every animal they saw. They had to choose carefully, looking for an opportunity where the group had the greatest chance of survival. One human alone was vulnerable. Together, several hunters could communicate, surround their target, and use the landscape itself to improve their chances. They waited patiently, watching the animal's movements and searching for the right moment. In their world, rushing could turn a hunt into a deadly mistake.
These early humans were still far from modern civilization. They lived in small groups, depended on nature, and learned through experience, observation, and constant survival.
Walking upright gave early humans an important advantage. Their hands were free to carry food, hold simple tools, and interact with the challenging world around them. Their hands became essential survival tools. They could carry food, break objects, shape materials, and eventually transform ordinary stones. Survival depended on more than physical strength. Early humans learned by watching others, remembering successful methods, and passing useful knowledge from one generation to another. Living together offered protection. While some searched for food, others watched for danger, cared for the young, and remained alert to predators approaching the group.
Every day brought the same challenge: finding enough food. The group searched forests, grasslands, and riverbanks, using whatever nature could provide.
At some point, simple stones became more than objects found on the ground. Early humans discovered that striking one stone against another could create sharp edges. A sharp stone could cut meat, scrape hides, break bones, and process plants. Suddenly, a simple piece of rock became an important survival tool. These simple tools changed what humans could accomplish. They made food easier to process, materials easier to shape, and survival in a harsh environment slightly more manageable.
Not every stone was useful. Early humans learned to recognize rocks that could break predictably, producing sharp edges strong enough for repeated work.
By striking a suitable stone with another hard rock, they could remove flakes and gradually create sharper, more useful cutting edges. Over time, more carefully shaped tools appeared. Hand axes became versatile implements, useful for cutting, chopping, processing animals, and working with wood. As their tools improved, early humans could process food more efficiently, cut tougher materials, and prepare wooden objects that would later become important for hunting. A strong wooden shaft could be shaped with stone tools, creating a simple spear that gave hunters greater reach when facing dangerous animals. Now humans possessed something powerful: tools, teamwork, and growing knowledge. But using them successfully against large animals would require careful preparation and perfect timing. The hunters watched the herd carefully, looking for an animal that could be separated from the others without putting the entire group in immediate danger. Slowly, the hunters moved closer, using tall grass, rocks, and natural terrain as cover, while carefully staying downwind of their chosen target. Every step mattered. The hunters stayed silent and watched the animal closely, waiting until distance, wind, terrain, and timing finally favored their group. When the moment came, the hunters quietly separated into positions, creating distance between themselves while keeping the animal within the group's planned hunting area. The animal suddenly sensed danger. Hunters began moving from different directions, using the terrain to limit its escape routes and push it towards safer ground for them. The animal turned and ran. The hunters followed, staying together while using their endurance and knowledge of the landscape to keep pressure on their moving target.
The chase continued across the open ground. The hunters conserved their energy, following steadily instead of rushing, while the exhausted animal struggled to maintain its speed.
The hunters understood that patience mattered. They stayed close enough to maintain pressure, but far enough away to avoid the animal's powerful charge. After the long pursuit, the animal began slowing down. The hunters recognized the change, knowing their careful strategy was finally creating an opportunity. The hunters moved into position once more, gripping their spears tightly and watching the animal's movements, waiting for one final opening to act together. When the animal exposed a vulnerable position, one hunter stepped forward and thrust his spear, while the others prepared to respond from different directions. The group worked together, maintaining pressure while avoiding unnecessary danger. Their success depended not on one hunter, but on coordination between everyone. After a long and dangerous pursuit, the animal finally stopped resisting. The hunters remained cautious, watching carefully before approaching their hard-won food. Only when they were certain the danger had passed did the hunters approach. Their successful hunt could now provide valuable food for the entire group. Using sharp stone tools, the hunters began processing the animal, carefully separating meat and useful materials that could support the group long after the hunt. The hunters carefully cut the bison's meat using sharp stone tools, separating useful portions that could be carried back and shared among the entire group. Once enough meat was prepared, the hunters gathered food together, preparing to carry their valuable prize back toward the waiting members of their group. With their food secured, the hunters began the journey home. For the group waiting ahead, this successful hunt meant another period of survival. The hunters carried the meat carefully across the grassland, knowing that every piece mattered to the group waiting at their temporary shelter. At the shelter, other members waited patiently. Children and adults watched the returning hunters, knowing their arrival meant food for everyone. When the hunters finally arrived, the food was brought into the shelter. One successful hunt could now support the entire group for several days. The group gathered around the food, sharing the meat among themselves. Cooperation ensured that the benefits of one dangerous hunt reached everyone. The bison provided more than meat. Its hide, bones, and other useful materials could become valuable resources for shelter, clothing, tools, and everyday survival.
Every successful hunt taught them something new: where animals moved, how they behaved, and how teamwork could turn a dangerous challenge into survival.
As humans faced new challenges, simple stone flakes were no longer enough. They needed stronger, sharper, and more reliable tools for everyday survival. They began shaping stones more carefully, controlling where each piece broke, and creating edges that were stronger, sharper, and better suited for specific tasks. Different tasks required different tools. Some stones were shaped for cutting, others for chopping, scraping, breaking, or processing materials needed for survival.
Sharper edges made cutting faster and easier. Hunters could process meat and other materials more efficiently, saving valuable time and reducing unnecessary effort.
Stronger stone tools could handle tougher materials. This allowed humans to work with wood, bone, hide, and other resources that were difficult to process before. Better tools also improved hunting preparation. Hunters could sharpen wooden shafts, prepare cutting edges, and create equipment more suited to the challenges they faced. Better tools changed the way humans approached hunting. They could prepare more effectively, work together, and face opportunities that once seemed too dangerous. Hunters also learned to use the landscape. Rocks, slopes, forests, and narrow passages could help them approach prey while reducing the danger around them. Hunting became a group effort. Some watched the animal, others moved into position, while everyone depended on timing, communication, and shared understanding. Every hunt became a lesson. Successful hunters remembered what worked, while mistakes taught them which dangers to avoid during future encounters. Over generations, humans became better at recognizing animal behavior, movement patterns, feeding areas, and the places where prey could be found. This knowledge did not disappear with one hunter. It could be observed, remembered, and passed to younger members, strengthening the group's survival skills. Survival was rarely an individual achievement. Hunting, gathering, watching for danger, and caring for the young all depended on cooperation within the group. Food was valuable, so sharing it helped the entire group survive. A successful hunter provided more than personal food. The entire community could benefit. While the group rested, someone still needed to remain alert. Predators and other dangers could appear at any time, making constant awareness essential. Finding food was only one part of survival. Early humans also needed safe places to rest, escape harsh weather, and protect themselves from dangerous animals. Stone tools helped them make their shelters more useful. They could cut wood, shape materials, and prepare the surroundings for a safer place to live. Near their shelter, controlled fire provided warmth and light, while also creating a central place where the group could gather, process food, and remain together. Fire also changed the night. Its light could discourage some predators, giving the group a safer place to remain together after darkness covered the landscape. With fire and stone tools working together, humans could process food more effectively, making their hard-earned resources easier to use and share. Each improvement built upon the last. Better tools, better strategies, and shared knowledge gradually gave humans greater control over their difficult environment. Over countless generations, these small improvements accumulated. Humans became increasingly capable of adapting their tools, behavior, and strategies to changing environments.
Survival also meant understanding nature. Humans learned to read tracks, weather, terrain, seasons, and animal behavior, turning observation into practical knowledge.
Knowledge accumulated across generations became one of humanity's greatest advantages. Each generation could begin with lessons learned by those who came before. The ability to solve problems became increasingly important. When conditions changed, humans could adjust their tools and strategies instead of simply accepting the challenge. Stone tools were not only weapons. They became instruments for cutting, building, processing food, preparing materials, and solving many everyday problems. What began as simple stones became the foundation of a growing technological ability, helping humans survive challenges that once seemed almost impossible. Long before cities, machines, and modern technology, humans began with something incredibly simple: a stone, a problem, and the determination to survive. Every sharpened edge, every successful hunt, and every lesson passed forward helped build a growing knowledge that would shape humanity's future. To complex civilizations, the journey of humanity began with countless small discoveries made by people simply trying to survive. Their world was harsh and unforgiving. Yet those early experiments with stone became the beginning of a technological journey that would transform humanity forever. The story of human technology did not begin with machines. It began with observation, cooperation, imagination, and a simple stone shaped by human hands. From the first stone tools to the civilizations that followed, this was only the beginning. Subscribe to Epoch Studios for more incredible history stories.